Hey Danielle, how are you? We're waiting for others to come on. We're going to talk about the narcissist and tyranny. And I'm sure a lot of people can talk about this one. All righty. Just invite somebody. Invite. And then we're going to talk about the tyranny of the narcissist. And the one thing you know about is that control, some of you, the rage. Who they become when the mask fall off. And we're going to deal with a lot of C's, the letter C. She said, yeah, make sure you hit that like button. And welcome back, everyone that is on. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know the time that is in your region. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to talk about the narcissist and tyranny. That fear, that rage, that makes you shriek, almost shudder in your bones. Yep, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Let's talk about the narcissist. Some of you are dealing with this and you have come face to face with the tyranny of the narcissist, the threat of the narcissist, the shudder essence of their control. And we're going to see a lot of C words here. And one of them is control. You didn't cause it. Hello there, Ernestine. You can't control it and you can't cure it. Once again, you did not cause this personality disorder. You cannot control this personality disorder. Don't try. You cannot cure this personality disorder. Sometimes people tell you, hold your ground, keep your boundaries. That's not going to break the narcissist. It's going to break you because you can only control. They tell you go gray rock. You can't stay gray rock for years. It won't work for years. Gray rock is a temporary measure as you begin to make some absolute decisions about your safety and the safety of your children. And while you are getting that aspect correlated, gray rock, because they need fuel, they need energy, and you're going to abstain from delivering any fuel, delivering any energy. They have to have it. So if you don't give it to them, yes, they're going to go out and get it elsewhere because they have to have it. This is like a vampire needing blood. They have to have it. There's no way they can go without it. They're not going to go without it. No way. They have to have this. So usually when you are thinking of safety measures and you need to take safety measures for you and the children, which means that you may have to plan an exodus for safety for you and the children, then what you have to do in this aspect is maintain what's going to keep you safe while you are planning this. Maintain what's going to keep you safe while you're planning this. And the safety of your plans depict on the type of narcissist that you are with. Because if you have malignant narcissist, a sociopath, or a psychopath, yeah, safety first. You have to think of a plan that is not going to arouse them to anger, that's not going to jeopardize you or the children. And the one thing you cannot do is cause suspicion. So it is definitely worth not telling them anything while you're planning that. Keep silence. You don't even tell your bestest friend, because if your best friend is a flying monkey to the narcissist, they're going to tell the narcissist, and the narcissist is going to know your plan. The most dangerous time with a narcissist is when you are planning to leave. Oh, you have to move in silence. You have to move in silence. Because if you're planning to leave, the narcissists don't take well to a leaving supply. They do not. Because that means failure. So they don't take well to failures. A narcissist, a failure is a narcissist's hurt. And they don't take lightly to an injury like that. You have to keep quiet. You have to make sure things look the same, even though they're not the same. If you're planning a bag, you have to take that bag and put it where nobody can get it. And you do not, and if he think you, and if you don't know that they got cameras in the house, because sometimes the narcissist can have cameras in the house. If he looked like he did it to somebody else, he'll do it to you. Think about it. So you want to make sure there's no cameras in the house, there's no recording in the house. Because whatever you do is being visualized through that recording. She said right before or during. And after leaving, the narcs are they are the most dangerous time. Yep, just before. And once you leave, it's the narcissists know where you are. That is an endangerment, because most narcissists come back and get their property. There have been people who were unalived because they left the narcissist, and the narcissist found out where they were. And when he found out where they were, he went after what he thought was his. Think about it. That's why you don't tell anybody when you're leaving. You don't. You keep people safe, because the narcissist can jeopardize them. He will hurt them to get to you. So you keep quiet. You make sure things stay the same. You pack your bags. If you got a good friend or somebody you can trust, you take little bags over there at a time. You plan your exodus. You can get in contact with domestic hotline. And I think it's 1-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE. And you get your local advocates that are in your area to help you. You get another phone, you get a secured phone outside of the one he got, just in case your phone has been tagged. If he has put a sensor on your phone to know who you're talking to, a recording on your phone, then it is not safe for you to use that phone. And you can go get a phone like $35, $40 for just the calls that you need it for. She said, seen a man willing to burn down a building with everybody in it just to flush out a supply. Absolutely. Narcissists a lot of times don't think of consequences. They think of what they want. They don't even think who's going to pay the price. They think of what they want, because they don't care who paid the price. So when he burnt down a building to flush out the supply, that's why you have to be careful, because everybody get next to that supply is at risk. Family, grandmother, mother, children, they don't care. All they want is what they think is their property. That supply they think is their property. and they're going to do everything they can to get their property. They will run over people. They will burn down houses. They don't care. The narcissist and tyranny. What matters is what he think is his. What matters is what he's coming after. When he come after the supply, that's all that matters. That he gets what he wants. And that's dangerous. Very dangerous for you to be in the line of fire. And you don't want to be in the line of fire. You want to make sure you're totally out of the way. If you can, during this time, if the kids can go somewhere and you may need to take the kids out of school, that's their father. You don't have anything to say or a court order to say he can't get the kids. It may not be a safe thing, not for the kids, because the narcissist will come after the kids to get you. Hear me. He will come after the kids, but who he wants is you. And when you seem to be a problem, the narcissists don't have a problem. You have a problem. And you got to make sure the kids are safe. You got to make sure you haven't told anybody. You got to make sure you're not running your mouth. This is what I'm going to do. This is my plans. Because you will be amazed who is a flying monkey to the narcissist. And sometimes, yeah, the domestic violence hotline, yeah. Put the number up, Danielle. I think it's 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-SAFE. SAFE. And it's an international across-the-board number. If you feel like your life is in jeopardy, you feel like you are threatened, then the domestic hotline will begin to pose. It's 1-800-799-SAFE, right? They will begin to propose a plan for you. And they will tell you, do not utter this plan to anybody. Even to the point that they may even give you a ticket. If your safety is to get out of that state, they would even give you a ticket for you and the children. You have to give them all information. Do not make this call on your home phone. Do not make this call on your cell phone. Do not make this call. Do not tell a friend that you are going to leave them. Don't whisper it in the house. Do your business outside of the house. Do your business with and on unfamiliar territory, and to people you know are not part of the narcissist. And usually when the narcissist don't like someone, that's the person you can talk to. And there's a reason he don't like them, because he couldn't win them over. He couldn't get them to sabotage you, because a lot of friends will sabotage. And the narcissist, he don't care about taking your friends into the most intimate places. If that would get what they want, they would do it. And then your friends feels like a low down dirty dog because what they've done behind your back, until they would tell them anything they want, because now it's blackmail. And a lot of times the narcissist set your friends up for the blackmail, because he knows that they can't tell you what happened, because your friendship will be over. So you did not see, cause it. You did not, number 2, see, you cannot control it. And number 3, you cannot see, cure it. So, and this is Kay Dearman, how are you? She said, I talked to 2 different domestic organizations in Florida, 2 different cities, and they did nothing. Well, that hotline that we just gave you will have something done. She said, Danielle, do not answer that. Do not answer that. So, but the domestic hotline that you get, because we have had people. Danielle, could you clear that? Yeah, thank you so much. We've had people to use the domestic hotline, and they took them, gave them step-by-step instructions on what to do. You just make sure you don't utter, because the most dangerous time is when you're leaving and when you've left, because they're going to look for you when you left. Because remember, the narcissists think that you're always their property. It doesn't matter how long it takes or when they find you, they always think you're their property. She said, because there was no violence. Oh, but it's different now. How long was that ago? Because now they don't consider violence as only physical. They consider violence as mental, financially. We're here in Washington. Dan, yes, it's sorry to hear that. Yeah. In case it just verbally and rage. See, in Washington, they will consider that domestic violence. November. Oh, okay. So, are you with them or are you away from them? Are you with them or have you left already? Or did he leave? Yeah, okay. Okay. Let me see. Let me get that back. Oh, there you go. She said I had to go back for financial. Oh my God, that was the worst thing you could have did, girl. It's probably worse than it was before, isn't it? She said, I am in the house. Oh my God. Okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm telling you, because usually the comeback is worse. The comeback is worse. They really get nuts. Oh my God. They really get nuts when you go back, because they punish you for leaving. She said, he is acting real. Oh, you're being love bombed. Of course you're being coerced. But you're going to see that mask come off. Red tape 10. She said, I got a restraining order for 2 years. I left him, but the police were involved. The lies he told, yep. They were about to arrest me until I showed them a 45 clip that saved me. Oh, yeah. See, they always reverse all of the actions. I'm glad that you were smart enough to have that clip. And Kay, you are being love bombed, but you will never be love bombed just like the love bomb he gave you initially. He's throwing you off guard, but watch him. You can see him contemplating. She said, I don't know how long this will last, the nice part. Oh, long enough to get you off guard, to make you settle and feel like everything is okay. Everything is not okay. You don't leave a narcissist and come back and think it's going to be okay. How dare you leave him? She said, it's a cycle. Yep. A pattern. Yep. It sure is. Oh. They love bomb you. They idolize you. They devalue you. Then they discard. Yeah. See. How long have you been back? Okay. How long have you been back? My Lord. And are there children involved? How long have you been back? And are there children involved? We got 40 minutes. How long have you been back? And are there children involved? Because it's a different dynamic. 2 weeks? Oh, baby girl, you just got back. How long were you gone? And is there children involved? How long were you gone? And is there children involved? 2 weeks. Of course he's nice. It's still new. He haven't had time to drop the mask because he don't want you to leave again. So he got to act like everything's all right. He got to act like he's glad to have you back. She said, no small kids. I am 64. Oh, wow. How long have you been with him? How long have you been with him? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You're going to definitely have to be mindful of where you are. And see, you probably don't look to leave. She said 27 or so. You was with him for 27 years? And you left and only came back 2 weeks ago? Oh my God. Baby girl, you got to be a smart cookie. You got to be a smart cookie. Because while you're letting your guards down and he got you thinking everything's all right, he's thinking. He's contemplating. One thing about a narcissist, they are deep thinkers. When you go off guard, they still on it. And they are obsessed with the thoughts that they have. They are obsessed. 1997. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. My gosh. Very calculated. Yes, ma'am. Hello there, God's glory. Formed my story. They're very calculative. They know exactly what they're planning to do. And they concentrate till they get it done. You forget and they remember. And really they become obsessed with the thought. And they do not let it go. And you do not let it go. You got to be as smart as they are. Wow. That was perfect timing. She said, yes, they do. Speaking facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, where you get off guard, he's not going to get off guard. He's not going to get off. Because he's obsessed with what he's after. Then, yes, I believe they don't even care about the outcome. As long as they feel they have control through their tactics. Absolutely. That granny also won't let them think about anything else. She said he went to therapy and is on a herbal product. Okay? Herbal products don't cure NPD. The only relief you can have is God. Because you need a force higher than the operating process. And the only thing higher is God. Now, she said, free therapy. When you get therapy, make sure they specialize in special relationships or narcissistic relationship. A lot of them don't. A lot of them do not. So when you're looking for help, when you're looking to get out for the safety of you and the children, you have to be strategic. Call that number, 1-800-SAFE. And they will begin to direct you little by little until they have you completely in a safe zone. Even if that means that they'll pull you out of country or pull you out of the state, not necessarily out of the country, but out of the state to safety and have a place for you to go. You verify the place that you are to go. So when they said that we have this shelter for you, don't just leave. Call, verify the shelter before you get there. 1-800-799-SAFE. She said, my grown daughter wants me to go back to the house. Absolutely. See, they don't know him like you know him. So, of course, they will say go back. But you know what it is. You can't go back. And the rest of the kids just left before they can get to experience anything. See? So remember, you didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. What are the next 3 C's? Controlling, critical, conceited, which tends and carry over to the grandiosity, that inflated ego, that self-importance, that entitlement. And then when they're critical, often overly judgmental and dismissive of others. There's nothing you're going to be able to do right. Controlling, a deep need to dominate and manipulate situations and people. And this is, hello there, Red Tape 101. She said, it is more of a demon in them wants us, or the vessel. They work with hosts. Yes, ma'am. They work with hosts. That's why we call it the spirit of persuasion. Because a lot of people have asked, how did I get caught in this? I have been so careful. It's not a matter of carefulness. Once you meet them, options start to inflate itself on the inside of you. Options start to let you know, this doesn't feel totally right. This doesn't have total peace. And when you don't feel total peace, there's something invisible that you're not seeing. And you're in the wrong realm to pick it up. So you start justifying what they're doing instead of looking up. If you're going to advertise on this level, you got to know what you're doing. And many of them don't. So, and they're not working alone. They are the host. And they have a persuader that is deliberating for them. And they make sure whatever words they give you is captivating. They make sure that whatever words they give you maneuvers you into a place that register what they want. Register when they want it. They do it against your will. But then they're subtle. They're deceptive. And this deception makes you feel wonderful. Like you really got a good catch. Like you really got someone that really cares for you. But what happened? This controlling aspect of them. And as controlling, then they're critical, and then they're conceited. See, she said, you are speaking facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Then Danielle said, didn't believe until I saw a demon in their black eyes and saw the same demon as a child in my father's eyes. Whoa. Man. Wow, Danielle, you have both sides. And usually when you got 2 parents, there is a dominator. There's never 2 dominating parents. There's always a dominator. Sometimes it's the female, sometimes it's the male. So I think that when you have one or the other, you got to observe who's the dominator. Usually it's the women. Women is the dominator. But when it's the man, when I say dominator, they try to use certain things to make sure they keep in position. Hey, that MMXW, how are you? She said, these days I'm able to get away quicker, and they really try to take you down quicker. You know why? Because the younger generation do not tolerate the things that we tolerated. They don't do it. They get out. Things get uncomfortable and they can't stand that pressure. Younger folk get out. Where the young people, older words, we have more endurance, so we will withstand what will be put out. Now, kids can't stand nothing. So they're losing it easier. They're giving up quicker. And they are recognizing some traits quicker. Because we got all this teaching, we got all this stuff going on the internet, we got all of this going on, and they know. Sometimes they can't put their hands on it, but they know. Now you know what you know. Because sometimes you're not putting your hands on it because it looks different, but it's still the same. She said it's stress. It's too stressful these days also to mistreat others. It is, but it's happening every day. That's why you have to be careful, 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 careful. And that's why hold your hand and we will get your hands. Hold your hand and we will call you up or well, you're not going to get your hands here, but make sure you put your comment down. She is too stressful these days to be also the mistreated by others. Oh my God. That's why the young people, they don't put up with it. They do not put up with it. Doesn't matter how old you are, don't matter how popular you are, young people don't go through the things we've went through in the 40s and 50s and 60s. They're not going to do it. They're going to tell you, bye, I'm out of here. Because they cannot endure the way we endure. We endure for years. They endure until it gets too rough and then they're out. She said, I don't get too much bothered by it anymore. Since it's been 30 years, I've seen my father. But my mother is another story. We are the salt of the earth. We are very rare. We are. That's why the narcissists had no idea who they were messing with. They had no idea. I thought about that song, God don't play about me. God don't play when it comes to me. He don't play when it comes to you. What you got to do, you got to strengthen the cores. You have to strengthen yourself. You have to strengthen your mind because that's what the narcissist is going to go after. She said, I left my ex-narc in January of the first year. She said, and I blocked him on everything. He has emailed me from various emails. Let me see. She said, I left my ex not January of last year and blocked him on everything. He had emailed me from various emails and just text our dating photos from an unknown number days ago. When will he stop? Sometimes they don't stop till they get what they want. She said, right there with you. Wow. You know, tyranny is torturous. It doesn't acknowledge a person. It doesn't acknowledge who's with you. It just consider what he wants. She said, thank you all for your commitment. You may also reach out by email. Destiny Helper 12s@gmail.com. We're going to make these 20 minutes count. See, so the narcissist wants to frustrate you. You have to watch in this time, because in this time, he wants to provoke you. If he keep provoking you, know you're probably being recorded somewhere. And then something happened, he'll bring out that recording and instigate for you to start fussing. Instigate it. The tyranny of the narcissist. Wow. It is awkward for many of you, because this is your first relationship with a narcissist that you know of in your family. And what happened is, it was somewhere in the family. Nobody said anything. They just thought it was a toxic person. You now know it was a narcissistic individual that was after your soul. And you had to protect your soul. She said, I just can't believe he changed. What do you mean? For the good or the bad? For the good or for the bad did he change? God's glory for my story. My ex-narc husband secretly recorded exploring me from his abuse. You have to get strength, especially when you know it's time to go. No matter what you do, you know when it's time to go. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. As we go on the countdown, y'all, you have to know that you know that you know that this right here, what is happening right here, so control, let's do these C's. Hold on. A narcissist. Here we go. Controlling. They become critical. They're conceited. She said, I have your information. I'm dealing with stalking 3 years after the divorce. Ella Wood, guess what? Yep, and it don't stop just because you left. 3 years after. Yeah, it doesn't stop. I've known narcissists to be gone for 15 years and show up like nothing and talk as if they've already been there. Misery loves company, absolutely. She said, I love your information. Dealing with stalking. And she's stalking. There may be an obsession right there, so I definitely need you to be careful. How long has he been stalking you and you know of it? How long has he been stalking you? My spouse She said, take a moment and double check. Okay, that's Danielle. Thank you, Danielle. My spouse then said he tried to text me, but he know that I have him blocked. I just replied, okay, I have no intentions of unblocking him. But in order for him to get the text of okay, you have to unblock him. Don't unblock him. Don't even respond. If there's no children involved where you have to go to a court system, you don't owe him an explanation. Stay no contact. Don't break the contact. She said the temptation to unblock him has happened, I know, but was resisted. Good. Wow. She said they want to feel violated and victimized, especially the covert. Especially the covert. The covert is always the victim. The rest of them is overt. The overt is downright rude. And they don't care about silence. They don't care about secrecy. They just blatant. The overt is blatant. Excuse me. The psychopath is blatant. And the one thing you want to do is you want to keep yourself safe. So obviously you've already left. And if he's stalking you, he knows where you are. You got to make sure you don't have a track on your car. Don't associate with flying monkeys. If they like them, they appreciate them, and they telling you to go back, they're flying monkeys. And they may be in contact with him. And you don't know the blackmail he probably using, or if they willingly giving up information. What you want to do is stay clear right now. Everything that's sensitive right now, stay clear. Because the one thing you can't do, you can't cure them. It's not your fault, and you can't control them. Know that. She, especially when some time has passed, they really tried to cross their boundaries. Oh, yes, ma'am. She said they want to feel violated and victimized. See, that's the covert. Because they're going to always have the worst story. They're going to always have the biggest story. She said he would blatantly record me doing his abuse too. He would have his phone right in my face. I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust that. Make sure you write down every incident. Date every incident. See who was there at the incident. She said, which level of narcissism like to throw things in the house? And if he put his hands on you, you can cover it up. I wouldn't even want to cover it up. But the one thing about it, if you call the police, even if they don't do nothing, you got a record. Because sometimes the narcissist can go to court, and the court can sympathize with the narcissist and his bad behavior than you. So I will make sure I keep a note of everything, a paper trail of everything. Make sure you take a journal, write things in your journal, and block it and cover it up or lock it up where he can't get to it. But in case you got the information available. So let's do this. Let me keep reading. The narcissist with tyranny is controlling, critical, and conceited. But one thing that they display before they do the final display, and this is when the narcissist initial part and dark charm. The narcissist can be charming, charismatic, and confident, controlling, careless, and condemning as it progresses. And as it progresses, he's a covert, those for the coverted ones, controlling, and then they crash because it's taking so much energy to do what they're doing, and it's not penetrating. When you show that it is not penetrable, the narcissist knows he's in trouble. And that can be a very dangerous time. I would seek to make that call and secure you and the children. Secure you and the kids. Don't let the kids stay wide open. No matter how they want their dad, you secure the children. Don't run off with them because you don't have a court order. And that can be considered kidnapping. So do not run off with the kids. All righty. We are down to a few minutes. If there's any questions you have you would like for me to answer, please ask your question now. In the next 3 minutes, then it's going to be time to go for us to come back next week. Remember, the tyranny of the narcissist is horrific. A covert can be passive aggressive, and they can be very manipulative, but they're very controlling. And they crash when they don't get what they want. She said, stroking the narcissist's ego is what bound us in abuse. It's discomfort to leave. It's discomfort in leaving, but for sure. She said, but it's so worth it. I know. When you say you love someone, you're devoted to them. And just because the narcissist get on your nerve doesn't mean you don't love him. You do. But in order to survive, you have to make some conscientious decisions of where you're located, what you're doing with him or with her. See? And you got to get someone that loves you for you. All right, my family, this is it. She said they live a lie. Everything they do. Because who you met is not who they are. You don't even know who they really are. Because the whole time they're wearing masks, and when the masks fall off, they act a fool. She said, imagine 2 parents and an entire family. My goddess. She said, I had to move. Oh, I can imagine. She said, we still live in the same house, and I didn't want to talk to him. Do I have to if he asks me a question? Hannah. Oh, Hannah, what you got to do, you know what to do to plan, because you're with me on YouTube. You got to, on Clubhouse, you got to plan your exit, because he's planning his, believe it or not. She said, I called a large domestic organization from the hospital, and they said they couldn't do very little because there was no physical violence. Where are you located? She said, thank you all for your testimony. If you like to reach out, Helen, to Helen's side, you can do that at Destiny Helper 12s@gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s@gmail.com. Tampa area. Okay, you still there? Can you write me at Helen? Write me at Destiny Helper 12s@gmail.com. And on the subject, put YouTube, and then make me recognize that I'm going to get some information to you for you in your state. She said some of the narcs know the laws on domestic violence, and in the state they live. Oh, yes, ma'am. That doesn't surprise me. But they're not always the smartest one. They're not the only one that knows the laws. You can know the laws too. Oh, yeah. Okay, definitely email me. And Hannah, I hate you in the same house. I hate what you're going through. I would definitely plan. And if you're used to going out, go out, get some air, look and see routes. All right, y'all. I'm going to thank you for being with me on tonight. I'll be back here next Wednesday. And hold on, I'm getting ready to do shorts. I know I said this, but I'm going to start doing shorts. And when you see those shorts, make sure you like and share the shorts. And then make sure you already subscribe to my YouTube page. So if you hadn't subscribed, subscribe tonight. And I'll see you on Wednesday. I love you to life. If you want to email me, destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. I love you to life. Good night, everyone.